All right, as
Well,
Jared likes to do, we call in with some Game of Thrones. We're slowly working our way through season five. Jared, we got a big episode today, The Gift.
oh, we do. Yep, episode 7 of season 5. We got D&D back writing. Miguel Shapoknik. Miguel, I can Shapok.
Mm.
You know how to say
Miguel
it.
Sapochnik.
That's
Sapochnik.
what he said.
Mm-hmm.
In the
Mm-hmm.
director's and this is, as you just said, it's a packed episode. We're getting ready for the big episodes 8 and 9 here. A lot of stuff developing from all the way from the Wall, Marine, King's Landing, Dorne. But the two main things I wanted to get to tonight were, because everything was such a short segmented, was
Mm.
the passing of Maester Aemon
Yeah.
and the Stannis discussion about what to do with Shireen. You know,
Mm. Mm.
winter's coming and things aren't looking good. But
Yeah.
I figured we'll start with good old Maester Aemon, and I think it was a beautiful goodbye for him, and Sam's delicious eulogy. And
Mm.
I've always had the question in that scene though, and it always comes up with Sir Alistair. How much respect do you think he put on Maester Aemon's name?
Sir Alistair Thorne?
Yeah.
I think a lot. Whether or not we completely saw it in the show, I think there was a bit of a feeling that Maester Aemon's word, if not the final word, was perhaps one of the most important words. I think that played out. There's also some headcanon maybe that I have of the respect it extend, even if it was at times begrudging. I think it was he was such a good standing member of the Night's Watch and all the history and all of his legacy that I choose to believe that there was a friendship between all of the leaders and him, other than maybe Janos Slint when he was there. But
We
yeah,
like Janos.
and I agree with you too. It's a beautiful send off. Peter Vaughn, no longer with us as well, is so wonderful as Maester Aemon. And for me, who at the time in season, one wasn't a book reader, the reveal of who he was breathtaking to me, quite frankly. It might have been obvious maybe to others, but it wasn't to me. And so the reveal, I felt the full effect of that reveal to Jon Snow. So I've always loved Maester Aemon, and just knowing that he was going, knowing that the performer was, approaching the end of his life on our Earth as well. It's one of my favorite moments in the show.
It really is. It's just, as far as like nice, not necessarily happy, but like good, clean deaths, nice, long lived life, respected at the end. Like, we don't get a lot of those in Ice and Fire.
I actually am glad you brought that up because that's very true. That's very true. Like, I'm trying to run through the list of like it honestly might be him and Melisandre. Like, who get to call their own shots. Like, you get to go out, and she'd have the greatest of lives when you take into account all 400 years of her existence or whatever it was. But yeah, maybe that's the other beauty of it too. This is someone who got to complete the journey to the full extent of their soul.
Yep. And speaking of Melisandre, that witchy bitch coming in with the, you know, just ultimate gaslighting. Have I not shown you everything? How do you not believe me yet? You've seen the power of King's blood. Burn your daughter. Come on, you can do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is we've talked a lot about Stannis on this channel, and we'll continue to talk about Stannis. He's one of my favorite players. He is a player. He's a player in the game of the Game of Thrones. But I love Melisandre. I love Carice Van Houten. Love also what she says and stands up for out there in the real world as well on Instagram. If you follow her, you know. But as a performer, yeah, Melisandre shows up. Yeah, she's a sexy redhead witch. I got it. I watched it in 2012 going, okay, sign me up for that. But the character was so much more, and I think had such a valued place in the story, including, what I love about this is now with hindsight is how much, and I kick that question back to you, Jared, how much did she believe? How much was her on autopilot? How much was her going, I don't know, this seems like the best hunch at the time, and maybe I can put throw my lot in behind Stannis and maybe save myself in this world. Sometimes I wonder, looking back.
I mean, I honestly, I believe her at the end when I believe it's Davos she's going back and forth with. With
Yeah.
first you thought it was Stannis, and you thought this, that. It's like, I was wrong. Like,
Yeah.
she did believe it, and she was just wrong, and she went full bar into it. And it's just, it's the interesting aspect of the Red Priestess in general. Just even the ones that Danny deals with in the streets, just gaslighting seems to be a theme for that particular religion.
It does. But I've had to, and on Casterly Talk we had conversations about this. Remember, our buddy Lon Harris, who is the reason we have the name Casterly Talk. Always shout out Lon for that. Just the idea that of all the religions going on in the Seven Kingdoms, the old gods and the new, for the most part, the Red God, the good old Red God, seems to be the one that actually gets things right. Not saying that they're right or they're right about their beliefs, but seems like the most real. The seven-pointed star, all that stuff down in King's Landing, oh, that seems constructed. That seems that someone went into the hills and said, I found some tablets, believe me. Whereas the worship of the Red God seems to net some kind of results. And whether that's good or bad, I don't know. Have you ever got that feeling, especially watching her? Because she has that bathtub scene. It's all. Sometimes it's fake, but sometimes it's real. But I'm with you. Deep down, she believes and maybe wants to believe. And it's Thoros and Mir goes through that as well. There's with him being able to bring back people from the dead, it's because he found his belief again. So. I don't know. Have you ever had how many hours have you stayed awake, Jared, thinking, dear God, the Red God might be right?
It's one of those where I have the same feeling that I think Alden brought up on the live once, where it was just all the religions except the 7-pointed star show in some way during the show actual power. Something happens with these religions, whether it's the masking with the faceless men, the old gods with the visions, the warging, the red-headed priests with resurrection and stuff. Everybody but that completely made up 7-pointed star.
Yeah, I know it's good to point out the other ones. Like I said, the old gods. There's a lot of other things going on that I want to give. Dare I say, give them credit? But not the 7-pointed star down there.
The one religion where I'm hoping in the books becomes a bigger deal too, because it's just fun to me. Because my favorite house for some reason is the Greyjoys. And that's the Drow God. We need something ridiculous to happen with the Drow God. Because go ahead.
No, Drow God is an interesting case because I'd like to know the track record of that God. I don't know. There seems to be they get a lot of victories out of sheer will. They're strong people because I have an affinity for the Greyjoys too in a way. And I do like the character of Theon. I do like the character of Yara on the show, Asha in the books. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, I don't know. You just drowned a potential king. Is that a god or you? Did you just drown him?
Hey man, he coughs it up. The sea. It's like Rings of Power. The sea made the choice.
Sea made the choice. Jared, I love this stuff. We're going to look towards a big episode on the next conversation, which we could do next week here. I don't want to scare you, too. Casterly Talk being back up on its own doesn't mean we're going away here. But this was Miguel Sapochnik's first directorial assignment in Game of Thrones, and his second episode is a doozy. One of my all-time favorites, Hard Home. Sapochnik, who, of course, goes to co-showrun Season 1 of House of Dragon. It's interesting. This is just it's just a little debut. He gets a little double. He hits a double. It's a great episode. We had no idea that this man who would help shape the last 4 seasons of the show had just joined the roster in a big way.